I got the box. It finally arrived from Fenris Workshop, but I got my Kroot hunting pack today. God, look at this art. This is phenomenal. All right, let's get this thing reversed so we can see what's in it. Got all the Kroot. God, these minis look so good. I'm excited to dive into the codex too. Pretty hefty box though. Jesus. Let's get this thing open. Okay. Let's get this out. Here are the sprues. God. Oh, okay, they're catching. Is that the Krootox rider on the top there? I think it is. Okay. So this is the Krootox rider, just judging by the weapons here, and it's all on, I guess, a single sprue here. And then Shaper, I'm assuming. War or Flesh, don't know which one yet. I'm sure I'll find out. Judging by the meat hook, I'm gonna go with Flesh, actually. And this might be the War Shaper with his weapons and cape. God, that cape's gonna be fun to paint. God, these are good looking sculpts. You can see the engraving on the shoulder pads. That's sick. These must be the carnivores? Yeah, these are one of the carnivore sprues, and I'm assuming the other one is the same, just 10. And yeah, here we go. This is what I was worrying about. They're like split in half in weird ways as opposed to at the torso and legs, but that was expected. And then finally, these must be the Rampagers. Jesus Christ, these boys are ripped. Yeah, these are the Rampagers here. These look really good. These are going to be fun to build up. In the rest of the box. Okay, this must be... Put this over to the side. This must be the codex and... Yeah, the codex and the instructions and everything should be in here. And there's the bases. Cool, I got a bag of bases to add to the ever-growing pile of bases. Basic artwork on the front. I don't think this is really meant to... This cover here is meant to be, you know, long-term survivability. Is kind of just cardboard here, but let's look what's inside of it. Oh god, look at Farsight. Okay, that must be the cards. We have the instructions here. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the carnivores first to kind of just prove out different ways of painting the Rampagers, or if they're last. 20 infantry models is not the most exciting thing to paint up, I'll tell you what. There's quite a few in this box. Definitely I'm going to do one of the Rampagers here soon. And I want to magnetize the Krootox rider, just so I can, you know, have different weapons in one day, kind of put a hammerhead proxy together using it. That's the instructions, really not much there. Exactly what you'd expect from a kit that just has some Kroot. Look at this codex. God, this is nice. I love the shiny blue. I wish they had also continued that along the edges of the codex like they did on the cards, but it's whatever. Contents. Looks like a short story to start off with, and then into the lore. A rather meaty lore section, as all modern codexes do, before the rules. We'll go over the codex in greater detail in a minute here. Let's see what these cards look like. I have seen them. They have this really cool blue teal effect on the edges. I am excited to see them in person. Come on, get open. Oh god, that looks really good. Yeah, I wish the cobalt blue effect that is on these cards was also on the codex, but that's just me being nitpicky. That's not actually a problem. Okay, we got Pathfinders. Okay, so it looks like the data cards for everything is here. They include everything you'd see on the app or the data sheet. Too bad these don't update alongside, you know, updates to the game. That'd be great. I figured we'd do a quick codex review with the few codexes I actually have managed to find out of my collection. Let's just put this down real quick so I don't ruin any of the codexes. Starting off with what I think is the Tao's first ever codex here. This was, let me try to find a year, a publishing year, 2000, where is it? 2000 and, this should be 2001, assuming it's the first edition Tau Codex, or the first codex for the Tau. Yeah, 2001. These codecs were very different back in the day. They're all black and white, except for a couple of photos. You'd get a brief lore dump, kind of like in this haphazard way. Don't get me wrong, they were still good reads, but nowhere near as deep as what you get in these days. And then immediately into like poorly laid out war gear sheets that you'd have to like constantly reference. Oh, this was a pain to play with. And then your army lists and such would come afterwards. This is just, you know, describing army building back in this edition, which I don't remember at all. I would have been 8, so. And then we got our actual data sheets here. Again, you don't even get images of the minis. It's all black and white, like hand-drawn art. Very different time for codexes. God, everything got twin-linked if you took 2 of them as well. I remember that. The old stealth suit design, Jesus. That was the old one, right? Yeah. Wasn't just a fire warrior with a bigger gun. And then fire warriors, 1 data sheet. Yeah. Kroot really hadn't changed much since this. I think he got a couple of Forge World minis, but up until recently, Kroot didn't get shit in these codexes. Oh, look at these painting galleries, though. Very classic Warhammer, very classic Tau. You can even get like a tactics page, just going over some like annoying things you can do as a Tau commander. These were very different codexes, I'll tell you what. They even came with like construction and painting tips, which I believe missed a few editions. They've come back a little bit, and we'll go over that in a few, but yeah, lots more hobby, I guess, in this codex as opposed to just lore and rules. God, that's a fancy sept. I also like how, like, even the yellow and red and bright green Kroot that you kind of showed off with the new update are seen all the way back here, and it's not just a new thing they did with the refresh. Farsight, you get your ethereals, and then some lore on the languages, and then the Damocles Gulf Crusade. Languages is actually quite interesting. That guy's getting cut up in the chest. Quick mission overview, and then a random, like, super high-res color photo of the Tau Empire space. So these were codexes back in the day. And then immediately I skipped. I missed a large portion of Warhammer. I skipped to, what is this? This is the 8th edition codex. You'll see it's quite differently laid out. Full hardback, full cover. I don't think they do paperback codexes anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know of any. Again, lore, significantly more lore than you saw in the previous editions. Color maps. Obviously by this point Tau had like 5 expansions, so they were quite a bit bigger. You also got like individual like lore tidbits on each datasheet almost. Like each page had a dedicated like lore snippet, and then you went into the datasheets, which I found interesting in this edition. Though, again, the codexes, they're getting better laid out every edition, but this one is... This was a pain to play with, I'll tell you what. Referencing all your points values, and then stuff in the back of the book, having to flip forward to get to the data sheets. Oh, you flipped too far, that's the lore sheets. Yeah, that was kind of annoying. This is the 9th edition Tau Codex, so the previous edition of the game. Again, this is also a great codex, but it lacks some of the painting and building stuff that we saw in the first codex here. Great art, either way. I won't go too deep into this one. This is the most recent one. Most people would have seen it if you've played Tau. If you haven't, you probably care more about the 10th one. But again, we have lore, we have painting, detailing, how to paint, ranks on the battle suits and the various different vehicles and septs of the Tau Empire. There was quite a bit more in the way to Crusade rules in this, version of 40k. So there's actually like a meaty Crusade section, which again was one of those things that kind of got in the way of playing, because you'd have to flip past the Crusade section multiple times to get to stratagems or data sheets. It was an awkward setup for these codexes. I think they solved that with the 10th edition one, though. Got some data sheets, nothing massive, nothing impressive, nothing too out of the norm. This is a typical 9th edition codex. Dark Strider, Long Strike, Rip Long Strike. Kroot Carnivores, Kroot Riders, that's all you got. The Kroot section is looking quite a bit bigger these days. Sun Shark and Razor Sharks, and then your Tide Walls. Yeah, I mean, your typical 9th edition codex compared to this gorgeous 10th edition codex, which, might I add, just, oh, it looks so good. I still wish these were cobalt blue pages, but whatever. Got your typical face inner book thing there. Contents, I do like how they actually like pull out the section where the rules are, and so and then further break it down. I also appreciate the Crusade rules coming after the main fucking rules this time. Hate sorting through Crusade to get to my rules. Yeah, again, quite meaty on the lore, as I think any codex really should be. And then you got some gorgeous brand new Kroot art in here. And I haven't read it yet, obviously, but I need to go through this Kroot section here and see if we've got any modern lore or new lore added to the Kroot. I'm hoping there's something new there. There tends to be, again, just lore segments, the classic battlesuit comparison, breakdown of your drones, what do they do, the seps and their rank markings. I do appreciate the guides on how to do it on the battlesuit helmets. I never follow them, but I appreciate them all the same. God, this piece of art is fantastic. Anything with Farsight's amazing. Like, let's be real. The showcases are only getting better and better in these books. I remember I have like an old Tyranid codex, and it was just like 6 pages in the middle of it was dedicated to showcase, and it was all randomly colored. So it's just good that these fit in so much more naturally. They have lore tidbits and the scribbles. They help you identify war gear and give you a direction in which to paint in. Codexes would not be the same without these showcases. And Farsight, oh my god. I might do a Farsight, the 8 project this year. I still need to buy Farsight, I don't have him. So I have a 3D printed proxy, but I want legit Farsight. So I might do the 8 this year. I wish they got some rules. Okay, this is the Combat Patrol. I don't really care about the devil. Ooh, painting. Okay, they brought painting back for Combat Patrol. I mean, it's not as extensive as it used to be, but it's good to see these back in the codexes. These are great. I guess you got your Combat Patrol rules, and then all your different data sheets here. And then the rules for the game. Army rules, drones, detachment, the best detachment Monka, retaliation cadre, and Kroot hunting pack. Everything else, you know, whatever. Kayun's fine, but the other 3 are cooler. Got your data sheets, strike team, preacher team. I do actually kind of like the new battlesuit setups. Hot take, I like them. More infantry, here we go. Kroot data sheets. Trail Shaper, War Shaper, Flesh Shaper. Goddamn, there's so many more. How far the Kroot have come since the first codex with just 2 data sheets to their name. You got your vehicles, broadsides, riptides. Got that classic Tau like camo pattern. It's great to still see. Storm Surge, the flyers, impractical but cool. Everything on this part of the codex is impractical but really cool. Things I wish were better but aren't really worth banging. And then your Crusade rules. So, I mean, this is a really well done codex. I think it's brought back a little bit of that classic flair, bringing a little bit of hobby back into the codex, which I think is great. It's done under the guise of Combat Patrol, but I still think that's fantastic. having the Crusade rules come after the main rules and knowing that I can just, you know, stick to one section of the book for my rules without flipping back and forth is also a great advancement in codex technology. So yeah, overall a really good codex. I'm really excited to dive into the finer details of it. And finally, we got the data cards. Look at that. Look at that cobalt blue. God, it's gorgeous. I mean, these are just typical data cards, you know. They have, you know, unit rules and abilities on them. Some of them are double-sided if they have more than what one, you know, side can handle. And these tell you all what you need to know. Their wound rules, you know, their wounds, their strength, their toughness, if they can lead, what they can lead, what their abilities are, when they can use their abilities. I'm really excited to have these, you know, I've never gamed with anything outside of the app, but it'd be nice to just use, you know, a deck of cards almost. I think this would be an interesting way to play. We got our different crisis battle suits here. This is the one. Wait, hold on. Fire Knife doesn't have the invuln save. The Sunforge has the shield generator. Okay. Could have sworn the shield generator is what the Fire Knife currently has in its hand, but okay. Anyways, I do like the battle suits fitting like a loadout class. I hope that means they're actually going to expand battle suits some more. Like we might actually get new battle suits for the core ones. And I still appreciate that the commander battle suits are customizable. Combat patrol cards. These I probably will never use as I don't play combat patrol. It's just the army rule. And these are drones. Is there anything on the other special about this? I should probably have this. Yeah. I should reorganize all these into like, I mean, first of all, the data sheets I actually own and those I don't. But other than that, I mean, that's the Kroot box set. It comes with the codex, the sprues, the wonderful data cards, and you know, I'm looking forward to fielding an all Kroot army. Anyways, thanks for joining this quick unboxing. I'm going to hop off here and let you go about your Monday. But have a good one. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you Friday.